Hey Upstairs, how you guys doing? Thank you so much for joining me on another video. Today's video is something that is too close to my heart. I always laugh when I'm nervous, guesses, and I don't know, to all my new subscribers, thank you so much for joining me. I'm actually just going to give a quick background. My name is Gabby Dlamini. My name is Gabby. I am a 39-year-old woman. I'm 39 years old and I am basically, I've had 3 miscarriages and I am trying to fall pregnant this year. So this is probably the most thought out, planned out, conscientiously done, intentionally done pregnancy that I have ever had. I have not put this much effort in trying to fall pregnant before. Like the first time I was completely unprepared, but I was young and I think like it was just one of those that, you know, it happened, but I didn't think much about it because I was like, oh, I've got time, I got time, you know. So that was that one. And then the second one, it happened so many years afterwards that I never assumed that would happen twice. And by the third one, I was a bit worried about it, but I was also like, doctors were like, look, listen, the first 2 were not related, so chances are the third one, but alas, it happened. So yeah, I have had 3 miscarriages in the past. I had my first miscarriage in my early 20s, my second miscarriage in my early 30s, if not 30, and my last miscarriage in my sort of mid 30s, just after 35, 36. So yeah, that is my sort of history, my conception history, my age. So as a 39-year-old woman with a fibroid removal, C-section, myectomy, I had a myectomy 3 months ago. I am now what is considered a geriatric, it's geriatric. I am now what is considered a geriatric pregnancy, meaning that any pregnancy that occurs after the age of 35 years old is considered a geriatric pregnancy, meaning I am too old to be pregnant according to medicine. I am in the I am medically a high risk already because of my age. The pregnancy already is going to be considered high risk. The fact that I've had miscarriages already is not necessarily going to put me in the high risk factor, but definitely in the amber zone, like not green lights. The fact that my last pregnancy turned out to be chromosomal issues, also a bit of an issue. So there's a lot going on that already sets me up for potentially not having the highest success rate in terms of pregnancy. I am lucky in one regard. Last time I went to see my gynae when we were still checking and figuring out the fibroid issue was that I do have eggs. Now also, as you know, the older you get, the less the quality of the eggs. So the quality of the eggs lessens as you get older. Women, unlike men produce their sperm on a daily, like, you know, once that last batch is gone, they produce more. Women, on the other hand, are born with all their eggs, which means that basically it's like having eggs in the fridge. The last ones eaten will be of the lowest quality, you know what I mean? A lot of 2020 preparing my body for pregnancy, like physical preparation. I also did a lot of mental work. I also did a lot of emotional work. We also worked as a couple. you know, my partner and I, my boyfriend, my fiance, my partner and I have, you know, we moved in together last year, and basically we are trying to create a unit so that by the time we have the baby, we are working from a we perspective and not from an I perspective. For a long time we were in a long distance relationship, and if you have ever been in a long distance relationship, as much as you can be in a partnership, there's still very much an element of I will take care of myself, or I can take care of myself. So we've been working on that we, and basically like building a strong foundation for the family that we want. And please forgive the lighting. I am using natural light and the sun is setting, hence all of this is going, but I'm going to try and get it going before the sun fully goes down. Otherwise, you guys will know, if some of you have been here for slightly longer, you know that last year I spoke a lot about eating and food, and one of the reasons why I wanted to get a good relationship with food was because I didn't want my relationship with food to influence the body that the fetus was going to find. I didn't want my under eating, overeating, bad eating habits and all of that to basically be one of the reasons why I either have difficulty in conceiving a baby or I have difficulty in keeping a pregnancy once it's been conceived. So I've worked really hard in terms of getting to a point where I'm creating a strong body, not a good looking body, not a skinny body, not a body that everybody would aspire to, but creating a strong body that I know is getting all the nutrients that it needs, a body that feels physically strong, like that like, you know, I feel like, okay, you know what, I'm here, I'm a woman, I can handle it. Like I don't feel like I'm flaking in the wind, or I don't feel too heavy where you know, I feel like, oh, you know, if I gain like 1 or 2 or 3 extra kilos, then I won't be able to really be as mobile or those kinds of things. Now I will speak on this and say that this has sort of fallen off the wayside after my C-section. After my myectomy, my C-section recovery has been really difficult, and I'm gonna do a video on that, a separate video on that. There's a video coming up on that, so yeah, that has been a bit of a thing. But so I found that with more inactivity that I was doing, I wasn't as active. I wasn't as active in the kitchen, I wasn't as active like going outside, so I haven't been, like the last 2 months, 3 months, I haven't been really keeping track of just eating properly. I've probably been eating a lot better and sort of hoping that what I'm eating is making up for the fact that I'm not being physically active. But so yeah, I'm not feeling as strong as I was feeling like mid last year, towards the end of last year, but I'm still in control. All right, so I've also, yeah, I worked on my eating habits, focused more on intuitive eating and less on the scale, the weight, and those kinds of things. And then like I said, I haven't really been active because of my recovery, but I'm getting back to it. We've started with walks around the neighborhood, and that's going pretty okay. And I'm planning on going into starting yoga, and we'll take it from there, because I actually find yoga very challenging personally. I'm not a big what's the word, I'm not a big runner, and I don't really think that I could run right now. I'm not a big runner, and I'm not big on like aerobics because I don't have hand-eye coordination. So I like yoga, and I suppose I do like weights as well, and I do like weight training, so I might focus on that. And I do like walking, so that's what I've been doing so far. And then secondly, I worked on my womb. Like I've said, I've had a myectomy and cleaned out the fibroids, and hopefully the womb has healed well enough to sort of start, you know, to carry the baba, if you know what I mean. hopefully that's enough to get me there. I've also started taking my multivitamins, if you've seen my last vlog. But what I also did was I cleaned out all the other medications that I was taking and made sure that I was taking absolutely most necessary medications. Yes, the medication I was on, I wasn't just taking medication for the sake of taking medication. I was on chronic medication, prescribed medication that was helping me for multitude of reasons. I stopped the pill for one, to get my body, basically get my body, I don't like firstly hormone treatments. I was on the pill because I was on Accutane. So firstly I stopped the Accutane, and then I went off the pill, and sort of my body, like, gave my body a few months to be off the pill. I know sometimes people say you have a higher chance of falling pregnant if you sort of quit the pill and then try to fall pregnant within that cycle, so that your next period, sometimes they say that when you quit the pill and your next period you'll probably release more eggs, because I don't know, the pill, you don't have a real period. There's a whole thing around not actually quitting the pill until you want to start trying for a child, for a pregnancy. But I decided that's not the route that I wanted to go. I really just wanted to be off the hormones, and I really also because the pill works hormonally, and it also works in terms of the hormonal side effects impact my emotional well-being and sort of my mental well-being. That's also why I wanted to stop the pill, because I also stopped very recently, I also stopped taking anxiety medication. So in terms of that, I know that it's a bit of a heated debate, because some people say that you can't stay on anxiety medications, mental, let's say anything that sort of has to do with like mental well-being. Not everybody can stop taking their medication when it comes to that. Some people kind of have to take the risk of, there's a whole thing about whether you should stop your medication if you're taking mental wellness medication, or whether you shouldn't stop it if you are pregnant, because sometimes the risk of you stopping is far worse than staying on the medication itself. So it really depends. But I spoke to my doctor, we both agreed that I'd been on the anxiety medication long enough to be able to stop safely, and yeah, to be able to stop safely, and therefore not necessarily have sort of side effects for me stopping. And that potentially I've also done enough in terms of like balancing out my hormones. That's why I quit the pill, because I wanted to make sure that I was going in as super balanced as possible, and those kinds of stuff. I hope I make sense. I hope I'm not waffling on, but I hope you understand. If you have questions, please put your questions in the comment section below. I do answer my questions. I do answer the comments that I receive. Not necessarily always like on the time, but I do try to answer them as much as possible. And then yeah, so I have basically like cleaned out what's going into my body medication wise, just to ensure that I'm also again creating the best possible conditions for conceiving, for caring, and for delivery of baby and baby's health after delivery. And then, oh, why am I sitting? I've been sitting like this because I've been anxious. I'm so sorry. Let me just move back. And then emotionally, that was one of the reasons why I was on the anxiety medication. Because 3 miscarriages is a lot, guys. It is a lot emotionally to handle. And I'm on my period, that's why I'm feeling a bit emotional. And I think for a time there I wasn't sure whether I wanted to try again for a 4th or a 5th, or and we even had discussions around how many times are we going to try, because I have to accept the fact that there is a very high likelihood that this pregnancy might not turn out as well. And that's why And that's why I am sorry, and that's why I am calling this a hope-filled journey. It's a hopeful journey, it's a faith-filled journey, it's a blessings-filled journey. I'm calling it a hope-filled journey because I come at it with hope and with faith that I am strong enough for whatever comes, and I'm open to receive whatever comes, and that I hope for a baby and I pray for a baby. This is what I'm going into this year, and everything that I've done and everything has been towards not preparing myself for another loss, but preparing myself for, you know, a baby. So yeah, so I work from a place of peace, I work from a place of trust, and I work from a place of, as much as I'm anxious about the things that I can't control, I feel like I've done everything that I can do. Like, I can't sit here and blame myself for one thing. Like, if I was, let's say I was pregnant now, which I'm not, and I had a miscarriage, unless I did something in the last day or two, I couldn't. I haven't, guys, I'm not even drinking. But I'm not saying that that's why people lose their babies, because babies go for every reason under the sun. Like, it could be because of your womb, it could be internal factors, it could be external factors. Internal factors that are just sort of baby internal, or internal factors that have to do with the mother's health. It could be external factors like environmental. It could be so many things that cause losses, and some losses people don't even know why it's there. So but yeah, so I feel like I've also come to a point where I have to accept, and I think Corona somehow made me sort of come to that realization that there is an element of risk that we all have to take in accepting the fact that at some point there is that 5% chance that you're going to get it, right? Because you can watch all, like, okay, I don't actually want to go there, but there's that idea or notion that you could get it, and that you have to live with it, and you have to accept it, and you have to be okay with the fact that you're going to get it, right? But you also, just because you're going to get it, you also have to do everything you can to ensure that you don't get it and you don't pass it on to other people. And I feel like that was sort of the lesson from last year, and that's the lesson I'm carrying this year. Anyway, but yeah, so that's what emotionally I've been dealing with. I have been working really hard to ensure that I'm open to positivity. And then as a couple, we have moved in together, we are staying together, we found a home together in which we want to start our family. We found a home in which has enough space for us to start a family and, you know, bring in a new member of the family. So we are living our lives already creating a space for someone to fill. We're not living our lives closed off and saying, okay, when someone comes, then we'll create the space. We are living in hope, we're living in faith, we're living in peace and trust. Yeah, I am a geriatric. I am a geriatric future mother, pregnant woman, whatever you want to call it. And I take solace in the fact that I was a geriatric baby. My mother had me after the age of 35, so I take lots of faith in that. And yeah, that's basically how I have been preparing myself for this beautiful gift that we are trying for and are working really hard to make a home for. and I think I'll see you guys on the next video. I think I'll see you on the next video. I feel exposed and vulnerable. So thanks so much, Gabsters, for joining me on this video. I hope that you're having a wonderful week so far and you enjoy the rest of your week. To all my new subscribers, thank you so much for joining me. And to my golden oldies, how you doing? If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comment section below. As you guys know, I am putting timestamps in my videos, so go into the description box and you'll find the timestamps for whatever it is that you want to see. And what else did I want to discuss? That's about it. Bye, Gabsters. Bye.